But knows that Wigan come in with good form behind them, winning the last three. But Wigan know if they lose tonight, first of all, they will trigger the league leadership celebrations here at St Helens. And second, they would then be hanging on to second place. Castleford would have the opportunity of getting to within a point of them if they beat the Catalan Dragons at the Mendehoes Jungle over the weekend. So here we go. It's Saints against Wigan. It is always a special occasion. The stakes tonight are very high, and Morgan Escaré will get this meeting well and truly underway. Richardson is underneath the kickoff. Here comes Luke Douglas. Here comes the Wigan charge from the kickoff, led by Sam Powell and company. And John Bateman moving in there too for good measure. And it's going to be that sort of night. It really is. Here goes Roby though on the first run from him. Gets it away to Zeb Taylor. He then finds Johnny Lomax. Lomax trying to weave his way in between the Wigan defenders. Still 9 metres inside his own half of the field though. Roby gets the ball away. This is Morgan Knowles, and Knowles gets St Helens up to the halfway line. Just over. That's the fourth tackle in the opening set. Roby then will spin the ball into the arms of Richardson. And now it's a Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He poked the nose through, but Joe Greenwood got a hand on him. Richardson with the first kick of the night, high into the sky. Escaré is underneath it, and the French international pouches it cleanly and then is tackled by Ryan Morgan.
Well, that's the first test for Morgan Escaré today. He wasn't expecting to play in this game. Talk about brutal, you talk about physical games. Well, it doesn't get any better than this, and you know that if you're in a Wigan jersey, you've got to stay with Saints. Saints are a very good side. They start games quick, they throw the ball around. You can see from the intent from some of the carries early on, they really do want to mix it with Wigan. Wigan looking to throw the ball, play outside of the tight three defenders either side of the ruck. And how strong Saints have been this year up front.
There's Sean O'Loughlin. Wigan welcome him back. George Williams gets the ball away to Joe Greenwood. 2012 to 2017 he was at St Helens, 77 appearances. Williams with a kick downfield that bounces off Ben Barber and goes backwards, so play on, says referee tonight Chris Kendall.
He changed his mind, Ben Barber, there. It looked like he was going to try and catch it on the full. He stepped back, let it bounce, and that's the reason the Wigan defence was able to catch him, collect him and push him back.
It's a solid start defensively from Wigan. Barber taking his place now in the attack here as Regan Grace takes the ball forward for the Saints, but good work around marker from those two, Flower and Bateman. Grace will play the ball to Roby. Here comes Thompson back in the side after that bizarre one-match suspension. Scored a try and was judged to have thrown the ball at the in-goal referee last time he was on duty, and took a one-match ban. Roby now at dummy half. Last tackle, second set for Saints. Goes high into the air. Escaré's coming for it, allows the ball to bounce. Bounces kindly for Saints. Thompson has it, but there are numbers there to stop the St Helens forward. And they get away with that, Wigan.
It is a good point that Terry O'Connor made. Sometimes when you start the game on the bench, you're almost slowing your mind down in that pre-match warm-up. He was told late on that he was going to start Morgan Escaré. He's got to switch his mind, switch his brain to make sure he gets under those high balls and deals with them properly.
Here is O'Loughlin again. Thompson in his face very quickly with Roby and Morgan Knowles. He's pushed back, but the ball comes out the back door, and Navarrete has it for Wigan, gives it to Luluai. Luluai then finds Willie Isa. John Wayne looking on, stern-faced. A big blow to him before the match. He gave Sam Tompkins every opportunity to play. Good ball. Here goes Morgan Escaré. It was a great pass, that. Escaré's got support, and Sargentson gets over for the first try of this derby. To the delight of the coach, to the delight of the travelling Wigan support. What a pass that put him through the gap. Wonderful try from Sargentson. Only his 16th appearance of the year. Justin Holbrook and the team looking at the monitor in their coaching area, wondering how on earth that came about, but the pass that put Morgan Escaré through the gap was an absolute peach.
Well, they needed a good start, didn't they? And they certainly got that. Sean O'Loughlin at the line, and then look at that for the ball from Joe Greenwood. Pulls in those defenders, Joe Greenwood, because he's a big player. When he gets in his stride, he likes the ball early, he'll pick out the defender. Everyone's more or less expecting him to run. They weren't expecting him to come up with a neat little play here to the fullback. Look at that, pulls in Morgan, the gap's there, and he just puts the afterburners on. And good play from Sargentson as well to find that space to score the try.
Well, it was mentioned before the game that there was going to be a lot of traffic. Joe Greenwood would make Danny Richardson's defensive night very busy. So with half a mind on that, I think it's Morgan who goes in, Ryan Morgan goes in, doesn't trust his scrum half to make that tackle one-on-one. What a beautiful offload. And did you see the Wigan shirts in the frame? Too many to choose from, too difficult a task for Ben Barber to prevent that try. Terrific start for Wigan.
Great start for Wigan. Morgan Escaray has taken over the full-back role. He's also taking over the kicking responsibilities from Sam Tompkins tonight. Left-footed this time, he's pushed it the wrong side of the post here. So you saw from the reaction of Sean Wayne when that early try went in, he might be leaving for pastures new at the end of this season. His passion for this club is undiminished.
Well, in games between the top teams, it's very often the ones that convert the breaks into tries that want to win it. We saw that here. Wigan first chance to go through the line. They've got enough support and enough skill to put some points on the board.
I just hope from Morgan Escaray and Sean Wayne's point of view that that miss from the conversion doesn't come back to haunt them late on. You could see the disappointment on the face of the coach. You could see the disappointment on the face of the player. I mean, I've never kicked a goal in my life, and I've said that many times before, but that looked fairly simple.
Yeah, well, points are vital, aren't they, in close games like this? And again, they're going down his left-hand side.
Here he comes again, the try scorer. That's a good tackle, though, this time by Ryan Morgan. Greenwood this time at dummy half. Williams gets it to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin spins the ball wide to Lulawai. Lulawai gets to Bateman. That's good defence from Mark Percival.
What a difference Sean O'Loughlin makes to this side. His work, his delicate touches with the ball, he's prepared to do the graft and the grind as well.
It's with Lulawai. Here is Williams. They go wide to Isa. Further wide they go. Davis will kick down the wing, but Percival was equal to it. Fingertips first, and then he dropped on the loose ball.
Well, they'll always want to turn it over into the corner. Only one way that Saints can come. And here he comes, Wigan Grace.
They have the speed, though, don't they? They do. Score from 90 metres out.
But that's why you want to trap them in the corner, Eddie. You don't want to let them attack from centre field where they've got options to go either side of the play the ball.
Thomas Lulawai got the tackle in there, playing in the halves this season for the first time in the Super 8s. Played against Castleford and the Catalan Dragons there, and now tonight, so 3 in a row. No stranger to the role, though, of course. Morgan Knowles here. Last tackle for St Helens, still 10 metres inside their own half. Richardson with a kick downfield, it's a good kick too. But Gildart just checked and went back. Now he'll bring the ball forward. Perfect night for this derby. Perfect night for fast-flowing rugby league. Wonderful pitch, great conditions, dry, warm. I think, was it Terry said in the studio before the match, this is a night that Super League was born for.
They're outstanding games, aren't they? You can see both set to players just ripping into each other. Whether they're a forward or a back, you would like to play on the big stage. The crowd get excited, everyone gets excited in these fixtures.
Lulawai's great on his feet, he found Powell. Here now is Bateman. Bateman slips the pass to Isa again. Isa gets the ball wide to Davis. That's good defence though from Regan Grace. Tremendous tackle.
Well, he knew that to be good in him because he's very strong, Tom Davis.
Here is Powell again. He finds Lulawai, who's stretched, gave it then to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin finds Williams. Williams dabs it to the in-goal area. And Makinson with Gildart breathing down his neck. And Sargentson there as well. Had to palm the ball dead. Goal line dropout forced by Wigan.
He's got some skill, hasn't he, Sean O'Loughlin? I know the kick was by George Williams, but you look at when Sean O'Loughlin goes at the line, he buys a bit of time for the players outside him. Obviously, they're in the quest to finish second in the table. They won't want to slip up here at Saints, and that man there could be the key. He could be the difference that just gels everybody together, calms everybody down.
Well, particularly with Sam Tompkins out of the team, Sean O'Loughlin's inclusion is crucial. We were wetting our lips, weren't we, for the confrontation between Barber and Tompkins at fullback. It promised to be a special side show. But Sam Tompkins, like the rest of us, is on the sideline and watching on here. And we had a picture of him taking his strapping and his kit off after he'd failed his fitness test. He looked so disappointed. Here comes Flower again, 10 metres out. Plenty of tackles in the bank here for Wigan. Luluai showed it, decided to hang on. Lomax and Personal with the tackle. 3 metres away from the line. Isa gets it away to Davis. Davis tries to spin out of trouble, but the reinforcements were there. Mark Personal in very quickly. O'Loughlin. Luluai with a crossfield kick. Looking for Sargentson. Oh, that's great work by Sargentson. Morgan collected it and he was dumped over the line. Another goal line dropout forced.
Geez, they've been smart, Wigan, in these opening 9 minutes. You saw Sean O'Loughlin, he had to go at 9. He delivered a beautiful pass to Luluai. Even though there's a collision there involving Sargentson, he doesn't wait around. He makes that tackle straight onto the next task. They look smart, they look fast, they've got speed of thought and speed of action. Saints, they're up against it at the minute.
Goal line dropout for them to the halfway line. And back they come once again. Wigan with Davis. 40 metres out, he plays it to Powell. Romain Navarrete takes it forward. Prop in the last 2 in these Super 8s. Powell. Williams now. Good ball. Gets it away to Greenwood again. Work for Morgan and Richardson to do in defence. He plays the ball to Sargentson. Williams. Back comes Ben Flower. Flower grounded 5 metres away. Powell goes into centre field. He'll find Luluai. He'll find O'Loughlin. Quick hands. Williams. Escaré skips away from one challenge, but Lomax and Regan Grace are there to make sure he makes no further progress. And Willie Ice is a dummy half. Back it comes to Williams. Crossfield kick. Again looking for Sargentson. Ball is knocked backwards. It's a penalty. Offside. Offside against Wigan at the kick.
Well, that's very impressive defence from St Helens. We're just inside the first 10 minutes of the game. They've defended 18 plays in their own half. 18 consecutive tackles. And we've seen how sharp Wigan looked to begin this match. Well, they were able to cope with it. They were outnumbered at times, but they recovered. And they've recovered enough here now with this penalty kick to touch. They should get into their opponent's half.
Yeah, that certainly takes a little bit of the pressure off. They start this set 10 metres inside their own half. McCarthy Scarsbrook drives the ball in, looking for his 50th try for St Helens tonight. Only his 4th start, his 4th run-on appearance of the season. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. Oh, slight lack of communication there, missed everybody. Bounced kindly for Taya.
I think Luke Thompson thought he was getting the ball. Danny Richardson thought he was getting it. Some venom in some of these carries from the forwards. The middlemen, again, look how strong they're going into each other. Look how the defensive line's coming up to try and cut down those metres, those valuable metres.
St Helens win. They go 10 points clear with just 4 rounds remaining. Here is Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. Great ball that was. Great big too. Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook for St Helens. The score's a level. And Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook gets his 50th try for St Helens. Or does he?
No try.
Oh, get no try on the field.
Check obstruction, please.
They're checking for obstruction in the build-up to this. And all of our eyebrows up here are raised. Stuart Cummings, can you decipher?
Well, we'll have a go. Looking for any St Helens defender that gets in the line.
Well, that's
there's
a bad
contact
read, isn't
there
it, from
but I think
Greenwood?
Greenwood's got enough room to go around that. So I don't think there's an issue with that. If that's the collision that Chris Kendall has seen, I don't think he was actually in the line. I think he stopped short of the line. Remember that the runner has got to either get through the line or stop short. Now, well, from that angle it looks a bit different, doesn't it? It looks like he gets into the line. And we've seen all season that any sort of contact with the player in the line will result in the video referee ruling obstruction.
From behind, and Chris Kendall's view of it, though, it looks like it's a bad read. But on the other angle, you're right.
It has an effect on George Williams, and George Williams then comes into Richardson, which creates the gap outside for LMS.
There were 2 very similar incidents in the cup final last week. One was penalised as an obstruction, the other one awarded as a try.
This is going to be turned down. Wigan's delight, St Helens' despair.
It's only a little bit of footwork from Luke Douglas. If he goes to the inside shoulder, watch his line of run here. Once the ball goes behind him, he stops, he checks. You can make a case for both there, I think. But after 10 minutes of energy-sapping defensive work from St Helens, to go down, get over the halfway line, get to have a look at the Wigan try line. All right, got chalked off, didn't get anything from it. A little psychological nod will be going on in the minds of the St Helens players.
Well, let's just rewind for Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He is still awaiting his 50th try for St Helens. What a sweet moment that would have been for him to score against the arch rivals. However, chalked off. 12.5 minutes on the watch, and it's Saints Wigan. It's building to be another classic between these two. Here is Escaré, out to Willie Isa. Good defence from Percival. Could this be a dress rehearsal for Old Trafford on the 13th of October? There won't be many complaints if it is. There might be from Castleford, Warrington and maybe Huddersfield. But from the neutrals, it wouldn't be a bad way to finish the season. We shall see. Sargentson goes inside Morgan. Gets away from Richardson, dumps the ball down to Escaré again. Escaré pops it up then to Ben Flower. Ben Flower goes back where all the big men are and is brought down by McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Joe Greenwood waits at dummy half. Fires the ball again to Lulawai. Lulawai will find Williams. Williams gives it to O'Loughlin. O'Loughlin short of Bateman. Wonderful tackle by Percival. Did he lose that? Did he lose that? Well, the referee wipes the tackle count down and powers in for Wigan. There's an element of controversy about this. It'll have to be looked at again. Now then, what's his decision on the field? Oh, they have a try on the field this time. Well, he's not disallowed it. He did in actual fact say a play on from up here, and we only got a really brief glance to it. It looked like he might have lost the ball into the Wigan defender, into the St Helens defender.
Well, that's what they're looking at. And from Chris Kendall's point of view, is it a St Helens player that touches it? Does the ball go forward from Bateman? That's what the video referee will have to decide.
Bateman's trying to tip it on,
isn't he? Did Bateman touch it anyway at all?
Here we are, he touches it.
It goes to pass it, doesn't he?
Yeah, it does. But if he passes it backwards, then it's going to be a knock-on against St Helens. Video referee has got to see which direction this is coming out. And it's difficult from that. And don't forget, the try's been awarded on the field, so there has to be sufficient evidence to say that there's a knock-on. And certainly, the ball comes out, and from here it looks like it goes in the forward direction.
It's going to be chalked off. It's going to be chalked off. This is going to be one apiece. Well, Ben Thaler saw sufficient evidence, and Justin Holbrook is going potty.
Well, Saints get the head and feet here, and again you can see the effort from Mark Percival. He jams in. He's looking for that quick pass.
What's the video referee?
John Bateman.
He's decided it's a knock-on.
Knock-on by Bateman.
Knock-on by Bateman.
Yeah. We had this debate similarly last night when a game that was gone, and look, you can see the debates going on amongst the players. We had Stuart, any little fumble by any player these days, forward, backwards or sideways, whether it's right or wrong, is pulled up as a knock-on.
Yeah, it's difficult for the video referee in that situation to decide whether he was actually trying to pass the ball or he actually lost it into the player in front. We all thought it was a knock-on originally up here, so I think it's the right call.
And this is Mark Percival. So a try has been allowed for Wigan, and it was scored by Dan Sargentson in the 4th minute, and a try has been chalked off both ways, and that is why Wigan lead by 4 points to 0. McCarthy-Scarsbrook, after 11 minutes, Powell 2 minutes later, both of them got the red light from Ben Thaler.
We're just looking at starting to sort the spacings out again. There's another physical challenge here from Thompson, and every time he gets the ball, Wigan have done some work on him, knowing that he is the goal forward man. They've got to stop him.
Barber now. First time he's got an opportunity to show something in attack, and Sargentson and Williams see to it he's not going to show much. Richardson is closed down quickly, gets the ball away to Makinson. He hacks it downfield because Saints were trapped on the last. Escaré takes it cleanly, gives it then to Tom Davis.
Well, that's the reward of good kick pressure. St Helens and Danny Richardson couldn't get that kick away because of the work of the big second row, Joe Greenwood. And we've talked about already Sean O'Loughlin and his impact on this game in the early stages. Well, St Helens have their own trump card in John Wilkin, who fulfills a similar role. At what point will Justin Holbrook bring his ace in the pack on?
Well, he's waiting. There he is, John Wilkin. This is Joe Greenwood. Joe Greenwood is enveloped. It's the 49th derby for John Wilkin, by the way. when he gets on. It might not be his last. Depends what happens over the next 5 weeks. Luluai with a tempting kick. Well claimed by Wigan Grace. And he gets away from Willie Isa. No, he doesn't. Referee says go back and play the ball.
Oh, look at that chase from Wigan over on the right-hand side there. No, dangerous. He is Wigan Grace. Gets up to top speed pretty quick. Got a good relationship with this man, Mark Percival. They are dangerous on the left-hand side.
Makinson has drifted from one side of the field to the other. Gets a good ball away to Roby. He in turn finds Lomax.
Risky offload from Saints there, but they need to do something. I'm under pressure for a long time in this match.
Another solid run from Roby on tackle number 4. They're still 12 metres inside their own half, though. That was Douglas to Thompson, the big men carting it forward down the middle. Last one for Saints here. Barber to Richardson. And a dab from Richardson to the corner. This will be a good kick because Escaray's going to have to run this back. And the chasers have arrived. There's the kicker.
Much better from St Helens. A kick on the front foot. He was able to place it where he wanted, Danny Richardson. And what a chase.
Now it's Wigan's turn to try and get out of trouble. Huddersfield maintaining the race, leading 12-0 against Wakefield Trinity in tonight's other match. They're maintaining the pressure on the top 4. They play Warrington next Friday. That's a crucial match in everybody's ambitions.
This is a good game. Both teams getting through the sets, getting to the kick, really asking questions, whether it be in the centre field or on either side. There's a problem in backfield here as well with Willie Isa.
Well, Willie Isa's right leg is strapped almost from shin to thigh. In fact, above that, almost from shin to groin. That's a good kick, and it's a good chase by Greenwood. He must be relishing in his return to St Helens, Joe Greenwood. Isa's making his way back into the play. Look at that. And he timed the tackle to perfection, Greenwood.
Well, if you get
Ryan Morgan's in trouble.
If you get there, make sure you get there at the right time. Don't give that penalty away.
Problem for Ryan Morgan of St Helens. As Saints bring it forward here with Teya. That's a very important tackle by Navarrete. Roby very quickly out of dummy half, gets it away to Lomax. Ankle tap, down he goes. Tackle not completed. Now it is. Morgan's in all sorts of strife. Down the short side they go with Barber. Barber down the line. Into the arms of Escaray. Escaray with a little up step and a jump, goes past Barber. Makes a break, does Morgan Escaray. Now he's quick. He might be too quick for his teammates here. Referee will hold up play now because Ryan Morgan is being treated in back play in the direction that Wigan were going.
Well, you leave Sam Tompkins out and then you've got the exciting Morgan Escaray to come in. He can beat some defenders.
He beats Ben Barber because, in a way, this is the head clash here with Ryan Morgan and then onto the leg of Sean O'Loughlin. It's going back to the break that's put Wigan into the position they find themselves. Ben Barber doesn't really attempt to tackle Morgan Escaray. He tries to streak the ball. I think it's an ambitious one-on-one we'll see here. He's gone for it. A risky, ambitious play from one full-back on the other. Didn't come off and Wigan get up to the halfway line.
But he decided to catch that ball on the full. We saw probably after 2 or 3 minutes Ben Barber pulled out of a catch on the full, if you like. And he suffered the consequences. Lost a bit of time. Defenders were upon him. And Morgan Escaray, he catches that ball on the front foot, takes advantage of the scattered, fractured line. There's a cut. Ryan Morgan, he'll have to lead the field, get a head assessment.
He will.
And we've got two teams
on the temple as well.
And we've got two teams here though that can play at speed, change direction. They're not just about throwing the ball to the sideline or going lateral. They're very direct as well. And they get something in the mind, they know where they want to play, and now they're bringing on young Jack Ashworth. I thought he was tremendous, the number 21 who's just come onto the field for Saints against Wakefield the other week.
And he was pretty good in his first Super League appearance of 2018 against Wigan last month as well. Well, he's got another chance here right now.
I think LMS has had to push into the centre over on St Helens right edge.
I thought we might have been seeing the arrival of John Wilkin when Ryan Morgan went off, but obviously Justin Holbrook has got other ideas and he's the boss. That was Williams. This is Isa.
Move, march! Hold, go for.
Davis Waits a dummy half. He finds Williams. He finds Bateman. Bateman shrugs away from one would-be challenger. Goes back. Gets away from Roby. Gets away from Ashworth.
Such a difficult man to put down, John Bateman. Not much of him.
Last one here for Wigan. Williams gets it away to Navarrete. Navarrete loses the ball forward. This is 0. It's a free play. Away goes Barber. Here goes Ben Barber. Handed down by Morgan Escaray and Tom Davis. That's got the St Helens fans on their feet. Here goes Regan Grace now.
Well, that's the danger of Ben Barber in broken play. Once he spots a gap, he's got the speed to get him out of trouble. And when Saints get down here, they do look an exciting side. They look a different side as well in attack.
Richardson goes down. Tackle number 2. They've made such progress on the back of the Barber run. That's Matty Lees. That was Morgan Knowles. He got the ball away to Luke Thompson. Lulawai with the tackle. Here goes Roby. Down the left side now with Lomax, who comes back in. Good job that Bateman collared him. Roby with another scampering run. Roby! Important tackle by Sam Powell. Could have been penalised there, Sam Powell. This is Richardson. Stabs the ball in. Well played by Williams. The referee allows him to play on because the tackle wasn't completed. Now it is.
Well, anytime James Roby goes from the ruck, that means that they played the ball too quick.
Oh, high shot. Contact with the head by Richardson.
And again, it's just cheap yards. This plays into Sean Wayne's men's hands. The high shot in the corner, 10 metres from the line. The referee, Chris Kendall, says this is a penalty. Footwork. He gets a penalty for it, but this is Ben Barber. Look at this. This is pure class, isn't it?
Well,
Saw Morgan Escaray one side.
A good game needs pace and passion, and that's got both of this, hasn't it, here? The speed of the break and the recovery from the Wigan side. Gets that critical point here now, halfway through the first half, and it's a test of which team now can go on. Both of these sides have really got the foot to the full accelerator for 20 minutes. It's the next 20 now, with players coming on. Can they make an impact? 20 clubs has to do so.
12-6, Huddersfield over Wakefield. The game has hardly stopped here at St Helens, totally wicked stadium. We've only had 3 penalties in the opening 22 minutes. It's almost got the pace and passion of a play off this, and here is O'Loughlin. That's a lovely ball, but it couldn't be taken in. And Saints come up with it within the shape of Luke Thompson.
He'll be disappointed with that FA in defence. Luke Thompson, very good going forward, but defending on his heels then against Sean O'Loughlin. Just opened up for him.
It was a nice flick back, wasn't it? And Ben Flower, under the pressure of Saints defenders, just couldn't quite pouch that ball.
Percival has got 3 big men around him. And down he goes. Still just inside their own half of the field. That's Matty Lees again. So impressive, him and Ashworth, when they've come off the bench this year. 2 young men, maybe for the future, but most certainly for the present. Roby will scamper away. Look at this from Roby. Good tackle, Tony Clubb.
You present him with an opportunity, he's going to take it, isn't he?
Catches one as well. Look at him, blood on the face.
Lomax stabs it to the in-goal area. Owen Gildart. He had to knock that ball dead. Well, they're going down like 9 pins. Let's go down to the sideline, Bill.
Eddie, the pace of this game is absolutely astronomical. Down here at pitch side, it is breathtaking. Everything is happening flat out. The pace of the game, players getting injured, the physio is having to react quickly. Willie Iser's had a dislocated finger replaced for the Wigan Warriors. That took a matter of seconds. He was back in action. It's like Ferrari pit stop. And then we've seen Ryan Morgan go off with that bang on the head. He's going to take some treatment. He's being assessed, and it's touch and go whether he will be back out there. But he will be so determined to get back out into what is turning into an absolute classic.
Indeed he will. There's Ice's finger that's been put back in place. And Ryan Morgan, by the way, off, as Bill rightly says, with a head knock being assessed. He was only past fit on Monday after a 3-game absence with a head injury. So it doesn't look good for Ryan Morgan at this moment.
Look at that.
Matty Lees.
Well, he accelerated the closer he got to the line. full contact, full impact. This is an outstanding game.
Wouldn't you love to do this, Eddie?
No.
Wow.
Frankly, no. But I admire those who do. And there he is again, and he plays the ball to Roby. And St Helens get a penalty for not standing square after play the ball.
Take two here, wouldn't you, surely?
Well, the second carry that he comes up with, Matty Lees, he scatters defenders, earns his side a penalty, just with the effort to get up, play the ball quick.
Stuart, what's that sign? It's an outstretched arm.
No, the signal was interference. The ball was fumbled as he put the ball down. And that was a result of the player skipping round the front.
I've never seen two hands coming out like
he just
this.
wants them apart, get away.
Oh, okay.
Well, I asked a second ago, you'd take two. St Helens want the ball. As Bill has said, down at pitch side, you can feel it, we can feel it up here on the gantry. It's an intense pace.
And this is Amor driving it in towards those Wigan posts. Chris Kendall with that signal looked like the angel of the north. Roby goes wide and Makinson's in touch.
Well, good vision, but it wasn't quite the pass that Tommy Makinson was looking for. The space was there. I think all the Wigan players over on the left-hand side had eyes for players inside. LMS was there, Tommy Makinson was there, and even with the wonderful finishes that we've seen from him, he couldn't do anything with this ball. It was just dipping at the last minute.
And you've got to bear in mind LMS, who can play prop, he can play loose forward, second row, he's in the centre. Maybe when the ball is in the hands and the pass and the decision to pass is made, he doesn't quite trust. LMS tries to find the winger, it's a looping, dipping pass.
You might wonder why Tommy Makinson was so deep. I guess that's because he was anticipating that the teammates were going to give the ball to Ben Barber. He had to stay behind Barber, so it was a backward pass to him. You might have not watched rugby league very many times before. I think if he'd been up, there was space for him to exploit. I think he'd been prepared for a longer pass, working with his teammate, the fullback.
Great atmosphere, great noise, great contest. And it's all about the top four. Tomorrow it's all about the qualifiers and the right to stay in Super League next year for the Leeds Rhinos and Hull Kingston Rovers. 3 o'clock, first of all, Sky Sports Arena. And then Toronto or London would love to be in this sort of battle next year. And they meet in Canada tomorrow at 5:15. And that's live again with us on Sky Sports Arena. The Super 8s and the qualifiers. The qualifiers leading to that nerve-jangling, nerve-shredding £1 million game at the end of the season. And the Super 8s leading to the grand final itself at Old Trafford on the 13th of October. Saints first coming into this match tonight. Wigan second. If it stays that way, both of them will have a home semi-final and the right to get to Old Trafford on their own middens come the week before the grand final. Stakes are so high.
You think there'd be some nervous players around Super League, around those middle-eight qualifiers, but this game, so there'll be some nervous players in this contest as well, knowing what's at stake. If you're a Saints player, if you're a Wigan player, you don't want to end up on the losing side.
Wilkin gets the ball away to Zeb Taylor. Taylor looking to get the arms free and does find Richardson. Lomax slipped at the vital moment, but still manages to slip the net of Greenwood.
Looks like he's got so much time on the ball. That's a sign of a class player, that Johnny Lomax.
Richardson again, weighing up the options left and right, goes right with a high kick. Oh, Gildart's lost that. That's been knocked back by St Helens. It's play on. Lees gets it to Ashworth.
Touched by Williams.
Touched by
It
Dan
is.
Sargentson.
6 to go. 6 to go. Richardson holds on.
We caught out then, Eddie. Dan Sargentson made a play for that. Under some pressure now.
Wilkin, Amor. They move quickly to close him down. He's banged in front of the post. He's 15 metres out, Kyle Amor. Plays the ball to Roby. Here is Matty Lees, fed by Wilkin. And I think, is there a problem here for Matty Lees? He's limping away. Play goes on with Barber, with Percival. Willie Isa, dislocated finger or not, great tackle. Lomax, Wilkin, Amor. Wilkin takes the return, great defence from Greenwood. Here is Richardson. Goes underneath, one swinging arm, keeps going Richardson, gets it away to McCarthy Scarborough. Here is Ashworth. Ashworth tries to go through them all, and he's just held up short of the line.
Wow. Getting excited there, Eddie.
It's a fantastic game. It is fantastic.
Look at that.
Great defence.
We've got great attack and wonderful defence. The commitment from both sets of players is right up there.
Oh, Bateman is unlucky. I don't think is it for that, Stewart, for lying in the ruck?
Yeah, that's a penalty for interference. He's at the back of the ruck, so the penalty is where he should have been.
You just can't get out there, can you? Obviously, he's caught.
I suppose he's got to roll
The
away.
wrong
He can't just lie there, can he?
And that's the second time they haven't taken 2 points when they've been available.
This game, Barry's all about
Just keep
scoring
going, keep
tries.
going.
This is Roby. Here is Richardson. Now Lomax. It's Ashworth again. Non-stop action for half an hour. Wigan just ahead. Saints banging on the door. Leeds with a drive in. 7 metres shy of the line. Roby again. Roby going in himself. It was Sutton and Clubb who shut the door. Wilkin gets it away to Richardson. He switches the direction of the attack. Lomax, Barber, wide. Where was the touch judge? Where was the winger? It was a poor pass from Ben Barber.
Oh, he was going for the ball boy as well. Well, that pass, it was a bullet pass, wasn't it? A couple of times that they've gone down to Tommy Makinson's side. Yeah, he can score some tries, but he needs better. He needs some better service.
It was also forward.
We know that's defence that's making them throw them passes as well, and you've got to earn the right to play, and that man wants some better service out wide. If you know that he can score tries, and you can see that Ben Barber knows that that wasn't the pass he was looking for.
When you look at Ben Barber, you look at his eyes, he's fixed on defenders. He's seeing what those defenders in Wigan shirts are going to do. Are they going to sit back? Are they going to come forward, and that makes the decision on who he passes it to?
Ben Barber been the star of the show for the first half of the season. Everybody's man of steel. Is he now?
Well, we'll see just what metal there really is inside him, won't we now? The pressure's on.
He's gone off the boil, hasn't he, in 6 weeks? By his own high standards, he's gone off the boil.
I think there's a few times in this game that he's been rattled a bit. He's got up, he's having a word with the referee. A few weeks ago, the fans were having a go at him, been rumoured to be going to North Queensland. Obviously, the fans just want to know what's going on with him.
Well, what was being spoken about on the Golden Point last night, if he goes to Australia, he's got a year to prove himself?
Reports say,
For goodness sake.
Reports say.
He's a former Dally M Player of the Year. Oh, great pass. Here goes Greenwood. He's got a ton of support. Out wide it goes to Gildart. And Gildart gets it away. Sargentson. Second try for Wigan. Sean Wayne on his feet. Second try for Dan Sargentson. Joe Greenwood with a big hand in that again against his former club. And Sargentson, the man in the right place at the right time. 5th in a row in the centre. He's only played 16 in 2018. That's how much they've missed him.
It's small margins in big games. Ben Barber, wrong pass selection, poor pass execution. Now watch Joe Greenwood. Big man, nice footwork. George Williams has been all over this field in the opening 32 minutes, from left to right, and from that broken field, to have Wigan bodies, Wigan players willing to get involved, willing to collect the offload, scruffy, it doesn't matter. Outstanding finish. Joe Greenwood slows himself down. It's a dipping pass to Gildart. Steps, jinks, finds an offload to Sargentson.
Look at this from Sean Wayne. He might be off. He might be going to Scottish Rugby Union. The passion, the pride is undiminished. Unbelievable from Sargentson. A fantastic game this. This is one of the best.
Quality, speed, skill, power. Tries, obviously. It's not going in Saints' favour so far, but they're going to have a say in this game.
Tough kick here, tough kick.
Well, did Morgan Escaré learn his lesson? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Sam Tompkins is off the field because he is injured. He never played a moment of this match because of a bang on the knee. They're not missing him in defence as yet. They're missing his goal kicks.
Yeah. I mean, he's been lively, he's dangerous. I suppose if they can keep their opponents scoreless, they don't really need to worry too much about those goal kicks. And the way they've defended for just over half an hour has been sensational.
Do you know, I like the play from Gabe Hamlin when he... Obviously, there was space out wide, but I think it was created from Gabe Hamlin. He had to word a tackle. He got whacked after he passed the ball, but I think he set up the field position for that try.
And I wonder, when those 2 points were on offer, 2 separate occasions, take the pace, take the sting out of the game, take the points when they're available, whether that might be something they'll reflect on at half-time.
Well, this is maybe a dress rehearsal for the grand final at Old Trafford itself. The only thing I can tell you is it's on October the 13th. But if you want any more information about the big night at Old Trafford, and let's hope and pray for a full house, there's all the numbers and the website that you need. 0330 11113, and the website rugbyleague.com. You can get in touch with Rugby League at sky.com if you like. I don't think it'll do you any good.
Well, kicking on the 4th player there, then Eddie. They know that this is a battle. They know that they're in the driving seat. Although 8 points isn't, I don't think, to win in margin in this game. Saints can score some tries. They've scored more tries than anybody else in Super League this year. And like I said before, that there'll be a part in this game where they'll have a 10-15 minutes where they'll have Wigan on the back foot.
Lomax gets away from Luluai's initial challenge, but there are reinforcements there aplenty. Gabe Hamlin and Sam Powell. Wilkin to Amor, short ball to Lees. Greenwood read that well.
But doesn't he offer himself though? Matty Lees pushes up into that hole.
Barber dabs it over the top. Escaré did well. The ball comes back. 0, says the referee. Sure, people will be wondering why, because Escaré was in the air and Barber tackles him. Why he's not penalised, but it's from a bounce ball.
It's illegal to tackle a player in the air if it's a kick on the full. However, he could still be penalised for a dangerous tackle if the referee thinks it's dangerous. But if the ball's bounced, generally he won't just be penalised for tackling him in the air.
Here is Morgan Knowles. This is Sam Powell. This is Gabe Hamlin. Williams gets the ball away to Greenwood again. Greenwood steps out of another challenge. Greenwood's having a massive game.
It's just relentless for Danny Richardson. That's the target all night. Every time Greenwood gets the ball.
This fella's not doing bad either. Sargentson dabs it through. Richardson is there. Can he get out of trouble? Well, he nearly did. He nearly did. He was grounded in his own in-goal area. Goal line dropout. And that's the second one that Wigan have forced.
It's about is it the 3rd, in fact, Eddie? I think this is the last time you'd really want to have a goal line dropout, just a few minutes before the half-time hooter.
So like about Danny Richardson, doesn't dwell on a mistake, gets back, gets hold of the ball, can't get back in the field of play. That's the free spirit there he is.
Phil, it's the 4th.
Right,
I was going to say 4 as well.
Yes. I was asleep for 2.
Well, St Helens can't afford to be asleep here now when they kick this one out. They're buying a lot of time. I don't know. There's a lot of talk about whether the team should be able to slow the game down. What are the rules at this point?
Well, the referee's called time off, so he'll just be trying to encourage them. In this country, we don't have a rule that says we can penalise them after a certain time, as they do in the NRL.
Well, we've enough to worry about without things like that. Wigan's go forward tonight has been relentless. And here is Gabe Hamlin. He's away from 2. Oh, he's just shrugged Wilkin out of the way. Good job that Lomax was there.
That's been the difference for me. They've been able to absorb the pressure Saints have put on them.
Here goes
pressure.
Bateman. Bateman gets the try for Wigan.
Morgan.
Bit of pushing and shoving going on. But Bateman has scored for the Wigan Warriors. Chris Kendall points to the spot. John Bateman. Well, they are, as I said, relentless coming forward. They're bouncing St Helens defenders out of the way all over the place. And that is the 50th try of John Bateman's career. There are some glum faces on the terraces. And there are some people who do silly things when the camera is shown at them. You can do without that. Wigan 12-0 to the good.
What I will say is when Ryan Sutton gets this ball, he goes back, gets him on the front foot, then it's Gabe handling, and then it looks easy for this man. And I'm going to be respectful to him. He is the strongest, skinniest man I have ever seen play the game, John Bateman. He is tremendous. He gets rid of some of the biggest players in the world of rugby league. He's got good balance, good strength, good vision, and he knows his way to the try line.
They're able to absorb pressure and then build pressure off the back of good kicking game. As I said, George Williams, Thomas Luluai, even Dan Sargentson, when he's been putting kicks in, he's chased hard. He forced that goal line dropout from Danny Richardson. He couldn't get out of the goal area.
Who is the strongest, fattest man you ever
Well, that was Barry, that. But you just seen the size of John Bateman. Then he's not big, and his players tower over him. But here's a kick from Williams.
He's kicked it. George Williams kicks the extras, 14-0. Some of the Wigan injured. Will have a smile on their face right now, because look at that scoreline as we approach half-time. And look at the Wigan supporters. They're enjoying this. Saints have won the first two this year against them. They're going for the hat-trick tonight. Not only that, they're going for the League Leaders Shield. Wigan came here hell-bent on spoiling the party.
Well, you could see some tired tackles when they tried to pull John Bateman down. They were using their hands and their arms rather than the shoulders. And he is a very strong individual. He's got freakish balance as well, where he rides through the challenges to score just before half-time.
So 1 1/4 minutes to half-time. John Bateman off to pastures new in the NRL. In 2019, he has just scored his first ever try against St Helens. The 50th of his career, his first against the old enemy. That's a great kick. Oh, it's bounced kindly. No, they're offside. I think they were inside the 10. They were ahead of the ball.
I think it was Morgan Escaret's called offside. Chris Kendall straight away, he was trying to work with the player.
Offside in the middle.
If you just see the ball's kicked, he's offside. He stood in front of Thomas Luluai. And the referee calls it, tries to work with him, but just before half-time, probably got a bit carried away then.
It's a great call, wasn't it, from the touch judge, who must have been perfectly in place. So you get a split second to see whether they're onside or offside.
Sean Wayne now prowling the touchline as Lees takes it forward for St Helens. St Helens haven't played that badly.
Well, they've run hard. They just both sides are keeping it simple. They're going forward, they're running, they're trying to get quick play of the balls, pulling defenders, look for that space.
On the way to the game, I was thinking all day and all night, this is Wigan's game. When Sam Tompkins' injury just altered things, I questioned whether this Wigan side would have enough mental strength to come into this game off the back of two previous defeats and push and challenge the best team in the game.
Half-time siren sounded. This is a chance. Makinson! What a try! What a fantastic try from Tommy Makinson. As the half-time siren sounding, the only question can be, is he onside? This is a spectacular effort from Makinson. Just what Saints needed up to half-time. They kick out wide, there looked nothing on. It looked like it might go over his head. This is Richardson. Have a look at this, Stu.
Well, he's definitely onside. We've got a nice line there that shows him onside. And the only question really is, does he manage to keep his toes off the touchline?
Oh, he does, without a doubt.
He was certainly tiptoeing down.
He does.
Completely off balance.
Without a doubt.
That's the one. I think he's just inside there. I think he's okay. There's green grass between his boot and the line, and there's nothing wrong with the grounding.
Well,
he is quality.
That is incredible.
That's his first try against a top 4 team this year, and what a spectacular way to score against one of the best defensive sides. It was a Hail Mary play, wasn't it? You often see in American football as the hooters sounding.
There is a millimetre.
It's breathtaking.
The finish is spectacular. The fact that he managed to stay off the whitewash, just unbelievable. Just the tonic St Helens needed going into the break. This will be given. There you go. Tommy Makinson for St Helens. Just what the league leaders wanted. The game was running away from them. And if Richardson can convert, having been battered by Wigan, they will only be 8 points adrift.
He's just a tremendous athlete. Said before, he just needs some space, needs good service. Danny Richardson had an awful lot of time to kick that ball where he wanted it, and obviously Oliver Gildat trying to backpedal, he just got caught out then, but the finish from Makinson was unbelievable.
10 tries for the season for Tommy Makinson. This is Super League's top goal kicker. He's pushed it or pulled it, whatever you want to call it, the wrong side of the posts. Breathtaking. Top 2 in the Betfred Super League, and they have let nobody down for 40 plus minutes. Wigan 14-0 up until the last seconds of the first half. Sargentson with 2 tries, Bateman's try, Williams kicked the only conversion. 14-0, 3 from half-time. They look like they'd be turning round with Saints 0. Then step in Tommy Makinson. His try as the half-time siren sounded. Hey, it's been good in the first half. It's game on in the second. Brown misses him. Getting over the top.
Lads, and everybody! Big game today, eh? With Odds Boost, you can choose which football bets you want bigger odds on.
Get a free odds boost to use pre-match or in-play on all live Premier League matches at ladbrokes.com.
That's wicked. No, this is wicked, mate. I fancied a walk anyway. Laters. Ladbrokes, for the betters of Britain.
You, Frau Kassmeyer, you had the...
Schokoleibniz?
Come on, detective. Who was it?
I don't know, that one. Schokoleibniz. It's not just a biscuit, it's a Balsen.
Get 2 free tickets to Sea Life Aquarium with the sun. Take a look. Sand tiger sharks have over 90 teeth and an octopus has 3 hearts. Get 2 free tickets worth up to £52 to Sea Life Aquariums across the UK. Start collecting tomorrow, only in the sun. Some turtles can breathe through their bums.
Rover, fetch. There. Ah. What are you doing? Oh, Rover. Red Bull gives you wings.
Is there anyone who doesn't want me dead?
Next time you get in my way, I will not be so gentle.
Girl problems again.
Shut up! Hands up! Oh, yeah!
Marvel Spider-Man, only on PlayStation. For the players.
Visit our towns.
Very close-knit communities.
Full of dark secrets.
Psychopaths.
Strangulations.
Everybody is a suspect.
Reveal the truth about 10 UK towns in 10 episodes.
The murderer had been at the funeral.
Visit Murder Town. It's closer than you think.
The journey begins with a visit to Hull. Monday at 9 on Crime and Investigation.
It starts with a whistle, and a 90-minute feature unfolds. Directed by true auteurs, masters of their crafts. Moments in time that captivate, excruciate, and inspire. Where flesh meets metal, and passion spurs glory. The spectrum of emotion, whatever the story. The Premier League, live on Sky Sports.
That was an absolute wicked kick, that.
One of the biggest games in club football in the world. Celtic Rangers, 11 a.m. on Sunday. Sky Sports football comes from the Scottish Premiership. Should be a cracker. Stephen Gerrard goes up against Brendan Rodgers. And their old side, Liverpool, are in action tomorrow, 11 a.m. Sky Sports Premier League. Leicester are the hosts. Cardiff Arsenal is the first of the Super Sunday double headers, 12:30 p.m. Sky Sports Premier League, same channel, 3:30. Watford Tottenham go head to head. We are at the Totally Wicked Stadium. It is round 3 of the Betfred Super League Super 8s, and at half time it's a scoreline that favours the visitors, 14 points to 4. Was looking like a 14-0 whitewash before Tommy Maketson's spectacular last second try in that first half. Okay, John Wells joins me here at the touchscreen to review that first 40 minutes, in previewing the first 40 minutes, and Terry O'Connor in the studio before the game. He referenced Joe Greenwood and he referenced Danny Richardson and said they would send a lot of traffic, the Wigan Warriors, towards Danny Richardson. It turned out to be the source of that opening try for the visitors.
Yeah, it did, didn't it? As we look back at the tries from the first half, you can see where the damage is done, and it is on those edges, and it is using Greenwood as one of those strike weapons, but there is some more of that. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. That was Sargent's try on 4 minutes. Then 2 no tries. First of all, Douglas there into Greenwood, and there's an impediment, in the opinion of the video referee, sufficient to chalk that try off. Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook thinks he's scoring, but he doesn't. This one, where Sam Powell scores, now that was adjudged by the video referee to have not been in sufficient control of Bateman to constitute a pass, and therefore it had to be ruled a knock-on.
That is a horrible, horrible call, in my opinion. That is just totally wrong. He's got it wrong. Okay, we'll move on. Dan Sargent gets his 2nd of the game, his 5th of the season. Some pretty poor St Helens defence at that stage.
Yeah, it was, but at that point I think the St Helens side were completely rattled. Wigan were playing with a tempo and an energy that St Helens just couldn't keep up with them. That's probably summarised in the build-up to Bateman's try, with Gabe Hamlin first of all, aggressive, stubborn, relentless and full of blood, guts and character, Brian. John Bateman finishing off and walking through St Helens defenders. They are playing at a different level, or so we thought.
14-0, done and dusted, heading toward the dressing rooms. No, Danny Richardson's crossfield kick, Tommy Maketson soars and grounds in the corner. An absolutely brilliant finish from the flying winger. Spectacular by Tommy Maketson. We'll look at that in a little bit more depth. Sean O'Loughlin returns to the Wigan Warriors side. You want to have a look at his involvements in Wigan attacking on the edges. Again, it was the edges were the source of some of their tries. Show me Sean O'Loughlin's role in this.
Yeah, so Terry picked up how it was mentioned in commentary how important Sean O'Loughlin is to this Wigan side in terms of exposing the opposition edges and what they do. Well, first of all, their shape is very good, and the left edge from Wigan here has to keep its shape for this to be effective. But Sean O'Loughlin, who's just taken the ball now, the key thing that he does, he really engages this defensive line, which means that the next man who is looking at the potential offload here, because he takes it right at the line and that is a viable pass option, then Morgan Knowles in that instance, he has to stay. He has to see what happens with that, and that creates the space and the time on the outside for this sort of interplay to happen. It's still great work from Greenwood and Escaré in the build-up to that. But it's all about making the defenders stay, making them bite in, making them sit on a heel that they do not want to be on. Here's another one, same again, here's O'Loughlin. Because he takes the ball to the line, this time Richardson has to stay, which alleviates the pressure and enables a kick to force the dropout. Again, a chance for the Wigan Warriors. Look at where he is. Look at where he is in the teeth of that defensive line. He's right there, and he's making sure that Dominic Peru has to stay on his frontline runner. Now, there's a reason why this is not scored. Once Tommy Luluai comes on the outside, he gets to his man, turns his man on the inside. These two, they're off the pace.
Missed the jump.
Yeah, Isa should be up here. If he's up here, he walks through this gap, because this gap is about to open up. Percival goes through. But it just shows you the effectiveness, and it's more subtle than you think at first instance, but it puts an enormous amount of pressure on those opposition edge defenders.
Classic loose forward play from Sean O'Loughlin, one of the best in the business, in the world, in that position. Okay, as I said, it was 14-0 to Wigan. It was done and dusted. You could almost hear the hooter. And then Danny Richardson grabs the ball and kicks to a man demanding the ball. We're going to have a look at Tommy Maketson's try here. in all its glory.
Yeah, and thank you to Billy in the truck and all the tech guys for getting this up so quickly. But it was so important that we got this for us to see just how good this was. Ball is recycled and offloaded, kept alive. The hooter's gone now. Danny Richardson, that's the key bit. I'll pull it back ever so slightly. Shouldn't be pulling this footage back, but I will do, because look at that. Tommy Makinson, it's a clear call to his half-back. He wants this. And sometimes you have just got to take your hat off as an opposition player and almost stand and applaud what we're seeing here, because that, I think, is one of the tries of the season. Absolutely outstanding. We know he's got it in his locker, and it's breathed life into a subpar first half from St Helens. Absolutely dominated by Wigan. What a game.
Okay, there is another game taking place now at the John Smith Stadium. Quick update on the scoreline. Jermaine McGilvery and Akuma Tai scored tries to give Huddersfield a 12-0 lead. Tom Johnstone hit back with his 19th of the season. 12-6 in the first half. I'm hearing Huddersfield, though, have just scored again to extend their lead with a kick to come. So that's, of course, 16 points to 6. Kick to come from Danny Bruff. He kicked the first 2. Let's take you into the dressing rooms here at the Totally Wicked Stadium. Justin Holbrook, well, I would imagine he would be furious with some of the defensive efforts from his side. I know John Bateman's a big, strong player, but waltzed through 3 would-be defenders, and that too easy for Justin Holbrook's liking, no doubt. Remember, his side going for the League Leader Shield tonight. If they beat Wigan, they will be awarded the trophy. Sean Wayne, in what will possibly be his last ever game as head coach of Wigan here at St Helens, well, he looks halfway towards masterminding a remarkable victory. They'll look for the 2 points, a win, and a home semi-final spot will look like being theirs. Right, break time now. We've got a second 40 minutes. You can tell we're excited here. It has been a brilliant first half of Betfred Super League action. 40 more minutes on the way. Do not go anywhere. This one is going to heat up even more.
Big chase on him, Luke Gale with a drop goal! He has kicked it!
You spray. Some of them are alas. Some are ball wise. Some are ball wise. Some are ball. Some are.
Use Gold. Smell fresh all day with new Lynx Gold Body Spray. When things get really hot, stay dry all day with Lynx Gold Antiperspirant.
Some exchange betting companies run short-lived promotions, like month-long offers of low commission. At BetDAC, we wanted to change the way we did things, so we set our commission at 2% permanently. That's 2% on football, horse race, golf, almost any sport. 2%. That's just one way that BetDAC is changing for the better. For the better, like you. BetDAC, the 2% commission exchange.
Henry Weston knew how to make exceptional cider. The finest apples from a single year, slowly aged for magnificent taste. Henry Weston's vintage cider with character.
Red Bull gives you wings. The best men don't just look good on the outside. They take a good look inside. They let it out, hug it out. The best men aren't afraid of commitment, and they're always there when it counts. The best men make every challenge their Everest, but don't beat themselves up if they only make base camp. To the men who always give their best, we've given you our best quality blades for over 100 years. Because what you're made of makes a difference. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Warhammer 40,000 Conquest, the official collection. Week by week, create incredibly detailed miniatures and build your own Warhammer 40,000 army. With brushes, paints, and expert guides, discover the history of the 41st millennium and take your forces to battle on the tabletop. Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. Issue 1, just $1.99.
Beat the holiday blues with a new premiere to look forward to every day of the week. So pack your bags, hit the road, let's go, and get home. Because there is plenty of excitement waiting for you.
That sounds super.
A brand new premiere every day of the week.
Are you finished?
Only on Sky Cinema.
Europe's top footballing nations are about to go head-to-head once more.
The UEFA Nations League, live only on Sky Sports.
And perhaps weave a little bit of magic. Well, the Totally Wicked Stadium in St Helens is witnessing a classic tonight, and St Helens, the home side, and the League Leaders Shield winners-elect are trailing by 10 points at the break. Makinson's try right on the stroke of half-time. 3 tries from Wigan, Sargentson and Bateman, but only 1 conversion from George Williams after Morgan Escaray missed with both of his attempts. And the Saints fans are hoping that things will turn round in the second half. To be fair, Wigan have given Saints as big a fight as any other team for the points this year. Saints have won 22 of 25 in Super League, but Wigan gave them real battles in 2018. Sean Wayne's men lost on Good Friday, a Good Friday game for the first time in 9 years. And on the 19th of July, Wigan will be furious that they lost their 100% home record to St Helens. Both games almost went down to the wire, and I've got a feeling that this will be no different in the second half. Breathtaking stuff so far. More of the same, please. I don't know what the coaches have said, but if we got into the dressing room, that had been our message.
Well, it was outstanding, wasn't it? And that try just before half-time, well, it gives Saints hope in this second half, certainly.
And they're attacking the end, behind which most of their support is massed on the terraces. Willie Isa with the first drive out of defence, met by Kyle Amor, John Wilkin. Here goes Ryan Sutton. And of course, Ryan Sutton, John Bateman, Sam Tompkins and coach Sean Wayne all heading off at the end of the year. So they have every incentive to end 2018 in style for the Warriors, and that would mean getting to the grand final at Old Trafford. There is a little bit of water to run under the bridge before we can talk about that, though. There's Powell going down the left-hand side with Williams. No-look pass finds Greenwood. Has been such a dominant force in that first 40 minutes. Look at that offload as well. Gets it away to Escaray. Escaray finds Williams with space. Well, a good job that John Wilkin was there, because Barber had missed him. This is Escaray again. Now it's with Lulawai. Lulawai comes wide to Bateman. Bateman finds Davis out on this near side, and Davis has scored. Davis has scored the first try of the second half, and Wigan mesmerised them then. Tom Davis, he hasn't scored in the last 4. And Justin Holbrook with a major problem at the start of the second half. A problem that has got no easier to solve.
Well, what a start from Wigan. It all came off the offload. Joe Greenwood gets over the top, flops it over the top of the defenders, straight into the hands of Escaray. Beautiful footwork, players running into spaces. Talked about this guy in the first half. I can't remember seeing him as busy as I've seen him in the first 40 minutes. Good skill. And Tom Davis, for all money, looks like he's covered up here. There's enough defenders. 3 defenders, Barber, Percival, Lomax within the vicinity, but he stretches that long arm out and plonks the ball down for the first try in the second half.
Well, considering the amount of tackles that they missed in the first half, Saints, it was 24 our stat shows. To be still involved and in the game, but just behind by 10 points, they certainly were and needed a good start in the second half. That's a poor start. It won't bother that man, he's pleased. Good try, but caught out again. Too many missed tackles in that last play.
First try in 4, as I say. He got a try in each of the previous 4. He's the best player in Wigan's colours for clean breaks this year. And here is Williams again to try and add the extras. Squeezes the wrong side of the post. Well, the half-time team talk has only just settled in the air, and Wigan have scored a try, Bill.
Absolutely, Eddie, and virtually in the same place that Tommy Makinson ended the first half with a try for Saints, which he felt had given them a bit of a boost. Not the case. They came out with the words of coach Justin Holbrook ringing in their ears to tighten up in defence, more teamwork in defence, and immediately they've been found out. They've got to be better in attack as well, according to the Saints coach, and not try and be so fancy, just be more direct. Well, they've got to be even more so now, finding themselves trailing 18-4 just minutes into the second half. Wigan coach Sean Wayne delighted with his side's performance in that first 40 minutes, apart from those last few seconds when they clocked off and allowed Makinson to score. You know, I was buttonholed really by one Saints fan at half-time who was telling me about the deficiencies of his side and basically said, we need more dog, we've got to have more dog from our side. They've got dog, we need dog.
The dogs are barking.
Aggression, that means, Eddie. A little bit more fire in the belly. You see the Wigan players, they're running harder, fighting for those metres after contact. Gabe Hamlin really typifies that.
Hamlin on the 40-metre mark plays the ball. Here's Williams again. He goes wide and finds Sargentson. Further wide to Gildar to dab through. Oh, it's broken for Williams. Well, I think they knew on the field that there was nothing doing then. It was a knock-on, was it?
There is. There's collision here from Wigan player, isn't there? Goes through there from Morgan Escarret, and that's the knock-on, the turnover. Eddie, with a lot of rugby to be played before you announce the 4 candidates, potential winners of the man of the match. But I'd be really surprised if George Williams and Joe Greenwood, the 2 main strike players for Wigan on that left-hand side of the field, aren't in that list of 4 names when you read it out in just over 20 minutes' time. They've really been devastating combination. It's almost like they would be men of the match rather than man of the match. They've worked in tandem and they've caused no end of problems.
Here goes Percival though, he's through a couple. And he keeps going, Mark Percival. I'm not going to say it yet, but you never write off the Saints, do you?
You just have.
I couldn't resist.
You can't already. 14 points isn't a big enough lead, is it? It's not a big enough lead.
No, there's nothing. And there's a flag that says exactly that behind the end to which they are attacking right now. And here goes Ashworth.
5, 2,
fighting for his feet. There you are. Never write them off. Richardson with a high kick. Escarret safe under it. They've been very good. He's been very good as well. Have Wigan in defence. Goal kicking has been a problem tonight because Tompkins isn't playing.
Well, it's just a good job that they can get over the try line then, isn't it? And obviously they just need to just keep on knocking over those tries. But
well, another 3 kicks that have been almost been out of sight.
24-4, Eddie.
Well done.
But you
notice Barry stayed very
You were looking at me, I said nothing.
I still look at this same time, I still see enough in them, I still see enough lethal players, threats that have got the ball, but they just need to be in that field position and stop the go forward from Wigan.
A very fluent Wigan, they really are. Look at that from Bateman, he gets it away to Isa, who has had a great game as well, by the way. It was his pass that put Davis in on this near side.
Well, he's looked after Mark Percival over here, and Nick on Saints is left.
Last one, hence the kick from Williams high. Makinson underneath it. Now then, can Tommy Makinson spark something for St Helens?
And that's when he's dangerous every time he gets the ball. Very quick, very powerful, just like this man.
Well, remember Good Friday a couple of years ago for Regan Grace, scored a try in his debut at Wigan. Okay, they lost the match, but he's only missed 1 game since Regan Grace.
Looking for a penalty then, James Roby popped out. He thought that Tony Clubb wasn't in position.
Lomax. Tony Clubb went for him twice. Whoops. Now, was that touched? Was that knocked out of his hands? Is this 6 to go?
Well, they tried to offload that ball. This is Wigan's ball.
Wigan have got the ball back with Bateman.
Well, Jack Ashworth then, he was surrounded then. Tried to get the ball away. Couldn't get it away cleanly.
Davis pokes his nose through again, and he's quick, and they know that. They get him down with Louis McCarthy, Scarborough, much more. He loses the ball. Free play now for St Helens.
Well, good speed from LMS to get back and deny that effort.
And another 6 to go there. It'll all go back to the very first incident. It was a free play. They'll take it back, Stuart, won't they?
No, they'll take it to the second incident, the second knock-on. That was a greater advantage, but no,
he's going back.
He's going back to the first. Right.
It's St Helens ball anyway.
Well, look at this. This is a good effort from LMS to get back and prevent Tom Davies from scoring a try, because when he got through, I thought there was nobody going to cut him down and catch him very quick. Well, the player that can play prop forward, back row,
I know I've said it a few times, he is up against it tonight. We've seen a couple of times where he's had to make decisions defensively. He's been put under pressure.
St Helens will want to get this league leadership shield business over and done with tonight if they possibly can. They play Hull at home here in 2 weeks' time. They've also got Catalan away, Warrington away, and Castleford at home. Either of the last two there could also be a grand final dress rehearsal. They need to get top spot wrapped up as quickly as possible. Tonight would be the night, but Wigan have got other ideas. Down to Bill for injury news.
Eddie, just to clarify, Ryan Morgan will not be coming back for St Helens. He got that bang on the head in the first half, fairly early on in proceedings. He got a cut, he also got a knock to the head. He's failed his head injury assessment, and that has disrupted Saints. There's no getting away from that with Lou McCarthy, Scarsbrook operating in that role and just influencing the way Justin Holbrook goes about things in the second half.
A little unfortunate for Ryan Morgan, just catching the leg of Sean O'Loughlin. There he is, only just back after 3 matches out with a head knock. It could be further trouble for him. And at the wrong end of the season as well. This, meanwhile, is Ryan Sutton for Wigan. Zeptea got him down with a help from Lomax. 12 metres out, right-hand side of the field. Bateman will bring it back into the centre towards those posts. Still 2 tackles left in the bank here for the Wigan Warriors as Powell fires the pass a bit hard for Luluai, ricocheted off the legs and then picked up by Morgan Knowles. He's trying to skip his way away, but that was tenacious work on the ground by Powell.
Well, he's looking for a teammate, he's looking for
this will help
player, but certainly this penalty will help Saints out. They need to be up the right end of the field, and I think it's Sam Brooks and Oliver Parton that's involved in that tackle. Just holding on too long. They get a penalty. Easy meters.
So they start this set 10 metres inside their own half, but Wigan quickly in to stifle any threat on Amor.
Look at that for line speed.
Wow, out he came, Ryan Sutton.
Well, Ryan Sutton, that shows you that it must have been a slow play or a slow pass for Ryan Sutton to get more or less 15-20 metres upfield.
Richardson again just pops the ball up to Morgan Knowles once more. 80th St Helens appearance from Morgan Knowles tonight, by the way, as he gets up and plays the ball to Roby. Here is John Wilkin. Wilkin will find Richardson. Now Barber. And Barber sparkle in the second half? Not yet. Bateman saw to that. Teya is behind him at dummy half. Gives it to Richardson again. Here comes Wilkin now. Delayed the pass and found Lomax. Lomax goes wide to Knowles. Further wide to go to McCarthy Scarsbrook. That's a ball and a half. That's a try for Makinson. Back they come, the Saints. Tommy Makinson's second try of the match. What a ball from Louis McCarthy Scarsbrook. He's 32 years of age. He's got 13 on his back. He's a loose forward, second row or prop. Is he discovering a new role tonight in the centres?
Loose forward, second row prop, standoff centre. He's got some speed, he got back, prevented a try before from Tom Davies. And then he makes that try for that man, Tommy Makinson. He is a tremendous player, LMS, doesn't get the credits and plaudits sometimes. Again, good ball from John Wilkin, fixing a couple of players. Good ball, again under pressure, but look at this. Sucks in 2 players, has the ball in one hand. And as soon as he has hold of it, he knows exactly what he's going to do. He's going to play through the line. As soon as he pulls in those defenders, look, he's looking outside. He knows what's coming. I just need to slip it, and Tommy's there.
They're one of the best teams in the game at exploiting space, creating overlaps. It was a wonderful offload from LMS, but I think it all started with John Wilkin. He skips across the line. He draws in 3 defenders, puts it behind a player, and then at that point, then Wigan are scrambling all over.
Well, do you know what? Danny Richardson's kicked a lot of goals this season, but they really need this one to go over the Saints. They're desperate here. It's a difficult conversion. He put it down quickly in the in-goal area.
Danny Richardson, he's 22 on Sunday. He is Super League's top goal kicker. There is the reason why. He was born a week after Saints clinched their first ever Super League title in 1996. And he's put St Helens back within 8 points.
Well, they were desperate, weren't they? They've been clearly the second best side for 50 minutes. But that will be completely forgotten if over the next half an hour they can do enough to score 10 points. Good play there. They've got some confidence from the success they've had so far this season. He throws the pass, he stands in the right position, and he puts it down for 4 more. The back believe him, but have they got the horsepower to compete with Wigan? They've struggled with any. The engine in the middle of the field hasn't been as powerful for 50 minutes anyway with what they've faced as the Wigan Warriors. Can they find it here now? Luke Thompson tries to, but driven backwards.
Tremendous stuff. I just wonder whether Louis McCarthy Scarsbook this week has been looking through his DVD collection and has looked at the Matt Gidley, Jamie Lyon era.
He's always had that in his game, LMS, whether he's got one defender or 3 around him. And luckily for him and St Helens, the skill that was perfected by
Wakefield
Gidley.
are leading Huddersfield. Sorry, Barry, look at that. That's a really, really great scoreline for Wakefield, depressing for Huddersfield. Sorry, Barry.
Some big games going on all over the Super League.
You are very excited
Have a minute,
today,
Have a minute.
I better take the pill. It's all happening tonight.
Good shot from Sideston on Morgan Olsen. Wasn't he influential in that pass out wide to LMS? Oh, look at that space.
Another out the back door. Great hands. Oh, just behind the 2 men outside him.
Oh, they're in the groove, aren't they now, Saints? They're physical, they're playing off the cuff, they're dangerous. Obviously, everyone goes into a game with a game plan, but Saints are always dangerous when they throw this ball around, shift defenders around, find that space. Ben Barber to James Roby, nice soft hands, and then Morgan Knowles just can't find LMS then with that pass.
So close yet so far. St Helens supporters for the first time tonight start singing when the Saints go marching in. Are they going to be marching in tonight to the League Leaders' Shield?
Considering how dominant Wigan have been in this game, again, I'm going to say it shows how good this Saints side are, just 8 points behind.
Would have been 14 if they'd have kicked the conversions. Nothing you can do about that when your chief goal kicker's off the field injured with a bad knee. Escaré to Bateman. Bateman gets it away to Isa. Isa will find Davis. Davis will take on Wilkin. Lomax is there as well. Davis put to ground on his back. That'll just allow Saints' defensive line to set. This is Lulawai. Gets a short ball away. No way through for Ben Flower, so he plays the ball to Powell. Lulawai. Flattened by Knowles, gets a pat on the back from Kyle Amor. That was the last tackle, that's the turnover.
Well, good spot, he was committed to that tackle then, Morgan Knowles. Thomas Lulawai going at the line, had a real dig at the line. And they were aware of it, Saints.
Luke Thompson. Zeb Teya. The man who replaced Joe Greenwood in this St Helens lineup. Greenwood on the opposite side of the fence tonight. Thompson. Almost through Greenwood, but he just did enough to hang on to him. Still inside their own half with Luke Douglas. Now just in Wigan territory. Roby to Wilkin. Gets the ball away to Richardson. Richardson finds Barber. Barber stabs the ball into the corner, an invitation for the speedsters to chase. Morgan Escaré's got work to do. That's a wonderful set. Makinson was quick as a flash.
What about the ball from John Wilkin? It was all at speed. You find space by pulling in those defenders. But when John Wilkin gets the ball, he goes at the line, isolates defenders, it goes to Ben Barber, comes up with a decent kick. And look at the chase, he's got nowhere to go, Morgan Escaré.
And you're right, Tez, it's all reactionary. Great reactions from the crowd, great reactions from the Saints players, all on the front foot.
I think it was a bit better than a decent kick. I think it was an excellent kick, that. From that distance to trap your opponents in goal. takes some real quality. And Makinson, we've seen him score tries, but his enthusiasm to chase kicks and put his opponents under pressure was a hallmark of the first half of the season. Helped sometimes to win so many matches, and it might be just getting them back into this one.
Escaret's goal line dropout finds Barber. He'll give it to Luke Douglas. Back they come to St Helens. Roby, Wilkin, Luke Thompson hasn't punched a hole through John Bateman's chest yet. Wilkin, Richardson, Lomax, Makinson, Sargentson to him, Williams to him, Gildart to him, stays in the field of play. Here goes the 2018 Centre of the Year. Roby, Richardson. Richardson goes inside Ollie Partington. Good job that Powell was there. Richardson is hurt. They're 5 metres away on the last tackle. Wilkin, back he comes to Lomax. There's the ball to Taylor. Flicks the ball back. Wigan have got it.
Well, good effort from, I think it was Willie Isa who comes up with that shot. Because Saints definitely had numbers. Now they get a penalty.
I tell you what, Ben Flower has done well here because he walked all over Wilkin. Watch this.
This is a try for all money, isn't it?
That shot and effort.
Now just watch this here. Oh, well, we're not going to see it now.
That's a good effort, that, to stand up, hold Zeb Taylor. He's got some help coming up.
Here it is.
John Wilkin, he strides over.
But then look at the way that Flower pushes him on the deck.
Yeah.
Well, I think the damage had been done before that. He's actually gone back in on the ball. I think Chris Kennell was trying to let it float, but realised there was going to be an issue, so blew the original penalty.
We're right to compliment the Wigan defence. There were 4 players in a try-scoring position for Saints, but they did enough to get rid of the threat.
Escaret again. Sean O'Loughlin. Just inside their own half of the field. Escaret takes them over halfway. Goes wide to Sargentson. Big collision with Richardson. Morgan Knowles, tenacious.
He's doing a decent job over on the right-hand side. He's looking after Danny Richardson.
O'Loughlin again. Here comes Flower, who got the penalty that put Wigan in this position. 5 have gone, though. Here comes the last. Expect a high kick. Lulawai is there. O'Loughlin's there. Here is Lulawai. There's the kick. Tester for Regan Grace. Did well. Good chase by Isa for all of that.
Well, Tom Davis, he was chasing hard. Saints players standing the ground, didn't have to move out the way.
That's good defence from Wigan on Mark Percival.
You've got to be good, you've got to be brave, you've got to be committed with some of these carries now here. Luke Douglas just steps back to come forward. You know that this is where your opponents are going to have line speed. It is going to be difficult to try and find some space.
No, that ball was knocked out of Roby's hands. This would be an interesting decision. Who's going to get head and feed here? Chris Kendall? Saints off.
I think it's Ryan Sutton. Ryan Sutton that makes a play for it. Does he swing with it? Does he pull his arm? When he gets out, the intelligence that man's got, you can see, yeah, he just knocks the ball out of James Roby's hand.
Came backwards, and then I think the second hand that just knocked it forward.
It's a knock-on.
No, Sean doesn't agree, I don't think.
Morgan, let's go. John.
Saints head and feed, but deep in their own 20-metre zone.
Falling. Out.
So here they come again. With Louis McCarthy Scarsdale. Good defence from Sargentson.
Go on, play on.
Makinson.
2. Moves down. Wait, Sean.
Game's just simmered, hasn't it? Just simmered down.
There's still some full-blooded challenges, though, isn't there?
3rd. Move, Joe. Go 3rd.
Saints are all around the ruck now. There's movement both sides, coming from one side of the ruck to the other. That's when John Wilkin comes into his own.
Roby waits as usual at dummy half, and he finds Lomax. He gives it then to Zeb Taylor, who was nearly through. Willie Isa finishing the job. Last one here for Saints then. Richardson looked left, decided to go right, pumps the ball into the air. Gildart's underneath it. Makinson does enough to halt his progress. And then Morgan Knowles and Louis McCarthy.
He positions himself really well there, Gildart. Centre by trade, playing on the wing this evening. He knows where the kick's going, catches it, and then breaks a couple of tackles to try and get his side out of their own 20-metre zone.
Davis goes down. Tackle number 3. Escaré. O'Loughlin bullets the pass. Isa.
That's a sign of respect as well for Saints middlemen trying to go wide. You can't get through them, so they're shifting those big fellas around in the middle.
Bone-crunching tackle on Navarrete. Last one here for Wigan coming up as O'Loughlin shifts it to Williams. Kick from Williams is right down the middle of the field. Then just skips left, picks up then by Tommy Makinson. A quarter of the game remaining, just under.
Well,
who's going to win it, lads? Who's going to win this?
It's anybody's game, Eddie. I'm not sitting on the fence.
I have absolutely no idea.
There's 2 splinters.
I think I said before the game, Eddie, Wigan win it, and I think they will still win it. They've got an 8-point advantage. It gives them obviously puts them in a favourite position.
Right.
Well, there's a resurgence here from the Saints, and you have that badge, don't you, that you carry around with you all the time about never writing off the Saints.
I've got another one that says Breers for Britain, but that was a waste of time.
That's made mine up, Phil. I'm going for Saints then.
I've got 5,000 of them in the garage at home, by the way, if anyone wants one. Here is Roby. This is Richardson. The ball went backwards and bounced forward, so play on.
A couple of times they're not getting that quite right over on the right.
Problem here for Makinson as he plays the ball wearily to McCarthy Scarsbrook. So Danny Richardson goes high, goes very high. Escaré. Oh! Escaré's dropped it. To knock on. Escaré has dropped it. Bateman disagrees, but the referee has made his mind up. John Bateman, you won't win this argument.
Well, a lot of people talk about Danny Richardson's goal kicking, but it's his field kicking that's had a bigger impact on St Helens' season. The bombs tonight, one in the first half, here's one in the second half. Now, he's perhaps a little unlucky. A lot of people think that this kick actually goes backwards, that the ball goes backwards as it comes down from him, but the referee's awarded a knock-on. Again, it seemed to go backwards from Tom Davis. This is St Helens' chance. They really want to shine at the end of tonight. They need to strike now.
Just checking, Eddie, there's 17 and a half minutes to go. You're coming out with some noises. Are you going to be okay until the end of the game?
No. Make sure the defibrillator's close. Barber. Roby is 12 metres away. Barber's rubbing his head. Got a bang then. This is Taya. Wigan again, tenacious in defence. Taya stands, plays the ball to Roby. Roby gives it to Thompson. He goes without it. Escaré picks it up. There's a relieved young man. Gives it to Isa. Regan Grace. Well, he's famed for his tries and his runs, and he's been good on defence tonight.
He's strong, he's robust. Obviously, he likes to get the ball, go across some of those bigger players. He'll take them on, but very strong. I think Luke Thompson, when he comes on that crash ball, he thought the ball was going out wide. He wasn't expecting the short little pass from his hooker.
Greenwood gets it away to Gildart. Look out! Look out, Saints. Gildart's on the fly. Gone inside Barber like he wasn't there. Wonderful. Wonderful try from Oliver Gildart. Wonderful try for Wigan. And look what it means to the fans. And look what it means to the players. They've got a new man on the field. Barber was left for dead.
Well, it's very difficult for that man, Ben Barber, to try and stop Wigan on the counter. They were under pressure up near their own line. And then all of a sudden, that man gets the ball. He's got some speed. Made his name as a centre. Has to play on the wing here, partnering Dan Sargentson. And he made that look easy. Look at this again. When the ball goes out, there's a lot of people looking at what George Williams is doing. I think he's had a brilliant game. Joe Greenwood, again, causing an awful lot of problems. Gets through the line. And that footwork, that's composure from Gildart. He doesn't panic.
He is the 2017, therefore the reigning Young Player of the Year.
Outstanding play from Wigan. The key decision, the key pass for me is the one by Sean O'Loughlin. He had 3 defenders in front of him. Just simply catches it and nonchalantly passes it on. And then from that point on, Saints filtering out, trying to fill the spaces and gaps. And that's an absolutely first-class finish. Joe Burgess, a winger by trade, appreciates the fact that Oliver Gildart made it look so easy.
Well, it makes it even more memorable when good games have great tries, and that was a classic example of one.
It was. And, well, no wonder he's scratching his head, Justin Holbrook. I say again, his team haven't played badly, but they have been, well, they've been just overrun by Wigan at times.
Looks like they've had enough field position, but when they've made mistakes, the ball's gone on the floor. They've been a bit scrappy, really, in attack.
George Williams now to add the extras.
Let's focus, last 15 minutes, lads.
Let's get down to Bill on the sideline.
Eddie, it is a fantastic game. Well, not from the St Helens point of view at the moment, but just as a neutral watching a great spectacle of rugby league. The sort of tonic you need maybe when you've just come out of hospital, which is the case for our old mate Sir Peter Leach in New Zealand watching this one. The Mad Butcher had just had a brief trip to hospital for 1 or 2 bits of tinkering. He's back out, he's at home. I know he's watching this, and I'm sure he's enjoying it, just as he enjoyed his beloved New Zealand Warriors beating the Canberra Raiders earlier on. So pretty good day for him, and all the best to him.
Indeed, all the best to the Mad Butcher, Peter Leach. Great bloke. Let's hope he's all right. Wakefield have increased the lead at Huddersfield. Has Simon Wolford's bubble just burst? Wicked kickoff picked up by Tom Davis. Oh, look at that from St Helens. They've not given this up yet.
Well, they've got nothing to lose now, have they? 15 minutes to go in this game. 14 points behind. They've got to run hard, they've got to tackle hard, they've got to force mistakes, they can't give penalties away.
Stand by for the man of the match vote, by the way. It's coming up on the Our League app. We'll give you the 4 candidates shortly. There are candidates all over the place tonight, there's no doubt about that. So the Our League app is the place where you make your feelings known and you make your votes. We'll give you 4 names as selected by a legend of the game watching at home with you tonight. Here is Luluai, drops the ball off to Bateman. Wigan aren't finished yet. 14 minutes remaining. Powell. O'Loughlin in centre field to Williams. Measured little kick out to the far side, picked up by Danny Richardson.
I think people looking at this game now, Saturday, thinking, well, what do Wigan do? Did he just shut up shop? Or did he keep on going?
That's not in the nature, is it?
No, you just got to keep on going. But you have got to play the percentages as well. If the pass isn't on, don't try and throw it.
Well, that pass was thrown.
That's exactly what Saints have got to do, yeah.
They've got to play like that.
They've got to throw the ball, they've got to chance their arm.
This is Lomax. Collared by Flower. Never had finished him off. Here goes James Roby again. Never takes a backward step. Richardson tried to get out of the way of Williams, couldn't. Morgan Knowles. Wilkin. Wide they come to Percival. Percival hacks the ball forward. It's too long. Well, don't forget, tomorrow the qualifiers take centre stage. Leeds, the fallen champions, take on Hull Kingston Rovers. It's all about Super League survival there at Headingley. 3 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena. All about promotion for the Wolfpack and the Broncos. 5:15, Sky Sports Arena. Wigan, 12.5 minutes away from a famous victory, leading 24-10.
And more than that, Eddie, maybe a psychological scar here. If they can increase that lead from 14, they've been dominant for most of the game. They'll get another penalty here and a great chance to score again and maybe even get to 30.
Well, Roby saying, my hands were up, I wasn't getting involved.
He's trying to get out of the way.
It was the same as John Bateman before, wasn't it?
He couldn't go through Powell's leg, though, that straddled him.
He's trying to get out of the way. Sam Powell, for me, knows exactly what he's doing.
Well, you play to the rules, don't you? If you knock the ball out, 36-16 Wakefield lead, if you knock the ball out over the red poles in a golf course, you get a drop, and you have to take your penalty. I'm afraid Saints have to take the penalty there. sure all the golfers know what I'm talking about.
I have no idea.
I haven't got a clue, really, but...
I don't even know what rules are.
No,
More
I know.
guidelines than rules.
I know, I realise that. This is Powell. We're going to 10 metres short. Trying to put this game well and truly beyond the Saints. Short ball from the Lachlan. 3 gone. They're 3 metres away from the St Helens line. Flower to his feet, plays it to Powell. Powell gets it a short ball away, and O'Loughlin has probably sealed the win for Wigan, and has well and truly ruined St Helens League Leaders Shield party. Look at the smile on Sean Wayne's face. Beating St Helens means so much to him, and what a contrast in the St Helens box.
When I spoke to Ryan Sutton before the match and talked about him being available for this match, Sean O'Loughlin.
It's his first try of the season, Barry.
It's his first and probably most important try of the season. To rubber stamp this victory, to just drive that nail further into this game. He runs hard and strong. James Roby with eyes for the ball, looking at Sam Powell. Doesn't pay enough attention to Sean O'Loughlin. And Sean O'Loughlin's effort, what he's done for his team, what he's done for his teammates, has been a huge part in this victory.
You think Saints are setting up for the big play that's going to go out wide? Well, you can't take your eyes off that, man. We talked about LMS before. What about Sean O'Loughlin? Hooker, standoff, and Sean Wayne. Look at the smile on his face. He won 2 grand finals, Eddie, and I think this game is well and truly up there with one of his wins for Wigan. Preventing Saints from lifting the shield at home against Wigan.
Well, that was top of his agenda. It was a big blow when Sam Tompkins had to bow to the inevitable before the game. They gave him every chance to recover from a knee bang he took in training yesterday. There he is. Had he been out on the field, maybe Wigan would have been well and truly home and hosed now with the goal kicking. He's got a smile on his face.
I thought you were about to say if he was on the pitch, maybe they might have got beat.
No. And I don't think Joe Burgess has been featured quite so heavily as he has tonight on the sideline. He's chosen the right seat to sit next to Sam. 28-10. 3 converted tries, and now St Helens have to score 4 times. In the last 9.5 minutes, I don't think even Saints can do that.
Well, they might. Justin Holbrook might just have to wait for the shield.
Catalan away next week.
Yeah, another week or so before it's presented in front of the fans. Well, sometimes you get games that go for you, go against you. Well, this game's certainly gone against them in the final 20 minutes.
A little dip in form for the runaway leaders. They've now lost 3 of the last 4, including the semi-final. I think they're going to lose this all right. Can't see them coming back, because this is going to be head and feet to Wigan at the scrum. They went for a shortish kick-off, and I can't see Huddersfield coming back from that either. 42-16. What a win for Wakefield.
Wakefield are a phenomenal side, and Huddersfield are on that run.
That's 36 unanswered points for Wakefield. It was 16-6 at one point.
He does a good job
early in the
doesn't he,
second
Chris
half.
Chester?
16-6.
And the small budget that he's got, he does a tremendous job. Changed that club's fortunes round.
Yeah, he has, and they've been a bit up and down lately, but tonight, huge win for them, and a huge defeat for Huddersfield and the top 4.
Especially when you consider David Fafita didn't play, who in my opinion is probably Wakefield's best player.
Problem here for Joe Greenwood.
Just cramp. And that's all he's got, the big back rower.
They've done a good job with Joe Greenwood. When we watched him in his first game, he looked a little bit off the pace. You think of how much work he's had to do, how big his impact has been during this game. Breaks, big tackles, offloads. Suffering a little bit with 8 and a bit minutes to go, but good fitness and conditioning.
Well, shall we see if Joe Greenwood's amongst the 4 nominations for tonight's Betfred Man of the Match award? Here there are names, and Joe Greenwood is. And Tommy Makinson and Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook are from Saints, and George Williams is the 4th member of that quartet. McCarthy-Scarsbrook, Makinson, Williams or Greenwood. You can now make your choice on your mobile device, on the Our League app, and we'll be awarding the Man of the Match award on the final siren. This, meanwhile, is Gabe Hamlin for Wigan. Luluai wide to O'Loughlin. Short ball then to that man Greenwood. Cramp or no, he keeps going. Last tackle coming up for Wigan. Luluai. High kick. Palm down. Picked up by Regan Grace. How much credit should you give to Sean Wayne for switching Luluai and Powell so late on in the season? Luluai's played in the halves for the first time this year in the Super 8s. Powell's reverted to hooker. He just saw that as a little change that was needed.
And it's the change that has helped George Williams. His game has improved. Thomas Luluai taking some of that responsibility away from George Williams has allowed him to focus on what he's good at. So big credit to Sean Wayne.
This is Jack Ashworth. This is Wilkin. Now it's Lomax. And Powell and Luluai there combining to halt Lomax. Amor. Oh, we have to stretch for that. Ball went to ground. It's another knock on. Frustration for St Helens. Delight for Wigan. And a push and a shove between Bateman and Ashworth.
Well, Wigan refusing to let Saints have their own way. How many times in all the games that we've watched St Helens have we seen one forward pass to another, and that pass
it just wasn't on, was it?
With pressure from Sean O'Loughlin, looks a hospital pass.
I think it was forward as well.
Yeah, it looked forward. It wasn't on. It was already. He already knew what he was going to do when he got that ball. Kyle Amor. He was just going to go straight. He'd already preempted the play. Didn't really do anything and fix defenders and give his teammate anything to go off, really.
And just going back to the question that you asked, Eddie, about St Helens and the little dip in form, they have breathing space. At the minute, they have breathing space. So if they're going to have a dip in the league, now's not a bad time to do it. Justin Holbrook has time to fix things up, rest and rotate players. And it's the big games at the sharp end, at the pointy end of the season that matter.
Well, that's true. They are beginning to pick up one or two bumps and bruises. I'm sure they have throughout the course of the season, but they've ridden those, the Saints. And over 14,000 have come here tonight to take part in a party. Wakefield have beaten Huddersfield. They came to celebrate the League Leaders' Shield. That is on hold. That's on ice for a week or two longer yet.
Well, Mike Rush might be happy because they'll get another big crowd next time they're at home.
You think this is planned by the CEO then, do you?
It could well be.
I think Mike will take credit for a number of things, but not that.
Well, you know, it was about 4 hours ago when the first Wigan fans arrived at this ground. It was a young family with a boy called Mackenzie Page, who was here with his mum and dad. They were desperate to be the first in the ground, and I went to have a brief conversation with him. I said to the young man, what do you think the final score will be? Obviously, he was a Wigan supporter, and he said to me, 30 points to 10. It looks as though he might be spot on, and he might be going home very happy as well here tonight. So, well done, Mackenzie Page. You look like you're a tipster for the future.
Indeed so. And your conversation with Mackenzie, did that lead you to pick Wigan, or did you really believe that it was going to be Wigan anyway before you spoke to him?
He might have just subconsciously influenced my opinion, yes. But he's stood in there with his mum and dad, and I'm guessing he'll be very happy when he gets home tonight.
Interesting way for Phil to hand his notice in and allow...
He knows what he's on about, that young lad, doesn't he?
He does, the young man. Allow the young man into the commentary box. Here is Percival. Wigan not letting go of this.
Well, they just want to close the game down now, don't they?
They've won all the little battles, Wigan. When there's been a tackle made, Wigan defenders are trying to push St Helens defenders back. When they're carrying the ball, they're looking to get through, break through, and not be dominated.
Here comes Barber again. Finds Richardson. McCarthy Scarsbrook once more. Releases the ball in the tackle. Finds Richardson. He finds Wilkin. Wilkin pushes the pass to Taylor. The Wigan defence standing firm. Last tackle here. It's with Lomax now. It's with Richardson. Kicker in chief. Goes wide to the right-hand side. Gildart's up above them all, and Gildart will go down the wing. Gets away from McCarthy Scarsbrook. Richardson managed to stop him briefly, and it was finished off by Makinson.
He showed up well, hasn't he? He's been targeted as well, Oliver Gildart, with those high kicks across to his side.
80th Wigan appearance for the young player of the year.
And you said in the first half about the way that Wigan were running onto the ball, the way they were carrying it, the way they were dominant, making meters after contact. And you can just see Saints just pulling back a bit as they kick on the second here.
With Luluai into space, turning Regan Grace around. Luluai's leading the chase. Regan Grace has got a lot of problems here.
Gabe Hamlin. Wow, what about the speed from the sub then, Gabe Hamlin?
No slouch. Hamlin, only 21 as well, by the way.
I think he's been a good signing, not on everyone's radar, but he's been picked up by Sean Wayne. He's doing a decent job as well.
Featured every one of the last 10, Gabe Hamlin. And he is. Super League debut against Hull Kingston Rovers in April. Well, it's ending sadly.
I said before, Eddie, it's been a bit sloppy at times. How many times has the ball gone to the ground, not hit the right man? You can see that John Wilkin trying to get the ball in front of Jack Ashworth to get Danny Richardson, but normally very clinical when they have the ball. Normally a team that plays on the front foot, so dominant when they're in good field position, but even in front of Wigan sticks, they were throwing those passes that weren't the right players, that were going on the floor, and it's just really helped Wigan's game plan.
3 minutes to go. Wigan have got head and feet at this scrum, 20 metres away from the Saints line. Here's Luluai. Bateman again. Wigan just looking to finish things off in style.
Come on, John.
6 weeks ago, you would have said this is St Helens night.
Yeah.
Tonight,
Move, James!
It's been Wigan's night. And how? Navarrete. They're running onto it as strong now as they were in the first half. And I don't know whether you caught a little glimpse of Sean Wayne about 5 minutes ago when Wigan made a mistake and gifted Saints head and feet at the scrum. He was furious with the mistake that Wigan had made. I think he'd be delighted when Angela Powers talks to him afterwards. This is Sargentson. Flicks the pass. He was in touch, Gildart. I'm sorry, it's Bill on the sideline. Angela could be doubling up. She could be here. Sorry, Billy boy.
Well, 2 minutes to go now. Wigan made the mistake. As you said, the results in Wigan's favour. Sean Wayne will be a happy man, along with his team. Off-field, do a decent job, but he said before about that man, Justin Holbrook, well, be disappointed 6 weeks ago, would have expected to lift the shield at home, but maybe though, this is a little reminder that teams can beat them that are around them, so they'll take that into the semis, they'll then take it into the final if they qualify, and that might give them the kick up the backside that they might need.
Well, as I say, 3 of the last 4 they've lost now. It's been an almighty kick. And a real kick up the backside for St Helens lately. They were sweeping all before them. They were playing champagne stuff.
They've been the most consistent team all year. Things haven't been their way. Everyone knows that they've got to play well against them.
They can do that. They can do tippy-tappy stuff fantastically.
Wigan have hustled and hurried Saints into making
There's another knock-on from Richardson.
There's another forced offload. I know it's, you know, the last minute and you can't take that into account for the full game, but for me, it's the hustle. It's the way that they've hassled Saints on last plays. They've not had it their own way. They've not been able to dictate the pace, the tempo, and Sean Wayne's side have just made it too hot and too quick for Saints to handle.
Do you know what I think is, Barry? It's the discipline, but the aggression that they've had, but disciplined aggression. Whether they're defending, all the little things that you mentioned before, the little 1%ers that they've done well in this game.
Well, St Helens supporters heading for the exits in numbers. The party is over for tonight.
What I would say, if these two sides meet again in the future this season, what a game that's going to be. The little reminder for Saints, what Wigan did to them at home.
Well, if it is the grand final, no complaints. And 2-1 now in the series this year. Escaré wanting to come back on the inside, finds Isa. Isa gets it away. Once again to Davis. He's not tackled. He's still not tackled. Now he is. Last 5 seconds of the match. Can Wigan get another right on the stroke of full time? Well, Bateman stepped over it. They still play on because the ball went backwards. And this is Davis. And as you heard in the background, that's the match for a smiling Sean Wayne. He couldn't wait for this game to start. He couldn't wait to get to St Helens and try and ruin the party. Mission accomplished for Sean Wayne, and for Justin Holbrook, it all still has to be done. I think he enjoyed this evening.
Well, I must admit, I picked Saints before the game. I think Wigan were solid.
Well, you didn't talk to the little fella outside.
I picked Wigan. They were solid up front. They were big. They were brave. They worked very hard for each other. When the ball went away from them, they didn't let the teammate down and switch off. And Saints, those little things that we're so used to seeing them do. Whenever they've got the ball and they're in that good field position, it hits the man on the button at speed, and they get the play that they want. Not tonight in this game. And maybe you could say that you've got to credit Wigan's defence.
I just felt for Wigan there was everything to gain. I should have spoken to young Mackenzie. They've been absolutely without doubt. And as I mentioned at the beginning of the game, when Sam Tompkins pulled out, it altered things. Did it do enough to take it away from Wigan? No, definitely not. They had enough determination. They were playing for the coach, and they focused on those small details of the game that made Wigan a renowned and formidable team to beat.
Well, you have to play well at the back end of the season, and Wigan now have won 4 in a row since losing at home to St Helens last month. 4 straight wins, and the Wigan players go to their supporters and they celebrate this win. It's a famous one, and it means a lot to the fans. I think the new Wigan coaches, Lamb and Edwards, if they don't know now, they will know. The only thing that the Wigan supporters are worried about, first of all, is beating the Saints in the season.
Well,
Secondly, they want to get to Wembley. Third, they want to get to Old Trafford. They'll know all about that, I know. But this will confirm it tonight.
Terrific team performance, and you see the fans celebrating, Sean Wayne celebrating. It means more. It's extra special to go into your neighbour's back garden and put in a performance like that.
Well, he's out on the field with his players, with his spectators. Sean Wayne. He's living every moment of this, and why shouldn't he? A great performance from his team. Let's hear from the Betfred man of the match. And what a match this fellow has had. Joe Greenwood's come back to haunt the Saints, Bill.
Absolutely, Joe, congratulations on a man of the match performance from the word go, because Wigan just ripped into Saints right from the start.
Yeah, these games, you want to be a part of these games, and right from the word go, it's just been non-stop from end to end, and we came away with the win in the end. We just stuck in there, and congratulations to all the lads for sticking to it.
Was that the intention, though, to really go at them and hurt them early?
Yeah, it's Wigan Saints derby, so you have no other way. You just have to go at them hard and strong, and luckily we came away with the win to stop them lifting the league leaders' shield in front of us.
Which must be very sweet.
It is, yeah, it is. Coming back here to my old ground, it's good to get recognised from all the fans and that, and they're really supportive, and yeah, it's like I say, really good to come away with the win.
Well, you have. I mean, you've come back to Britain, you've come back to Super League from Gold Coast, and it's worked out pretty well.
Yeah, I'm enjoying my time at Wigan. It's really good, and there's definitely something brewing, and keep pushing on these playoffs, ready for the semi-finals.
Well, it's made your second place a bit more secure. I mean, there's a long way to go yet. People suggesting maybe this was a grand final rehearsal.
Yeah, people say that. Yeah, honestly, you can't let the foot off the gas. We want that home draw, so we have to keep pushing and picking up the wins along the way.
Joe, well done tonight. Cheque for £250 for a charity or charities of your choice.
Yeah, the first charity I'd like to split it to the Steve Prescott Foundation. He coached me when I was younger, so I'd like to give it to him. And then the second one is I'd like to dedicate it to my granddad, to Parkinson's.
Joe, well done tonight. Good lad. Dan Sargentson set the ball rolling really for the Wigan Warriors, and to set the ball rolling in a Saints derby, that must be very satisfying.
Yeah, it was a massive one for us. Saints have been amazing all year, and we knew it was never going to be easy. So to come to their ground here, they've obviously got 2 up on us earlier in the year, so it was a must-win game for us.
And you really have pooped the party, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, we spoke about it before. It would have killed us if they got to lift that trophy. They deserve it. They've played well all season, so they deserve to lift it, and they probably will in the next few weeks. But just glad for them not to do it tonight.
But do you think further down the track this might be significant?
It could be, yeah. With Saints getting the home draw in the 4, it'd be massive. But we're just trying to hold on to the 2 now.
You're not thinking about a grand final?
No, we obviously want to get there, but we're taking each game as it comes. We got Huddersfield and Wakefield coming up. They're not easy opponents.
Wakefield are beating Huddersfield tonight in big style. So, yeah, you're right there. Thanks, Dan.
Nice one. Thank you, mate.
Tommy Makinson personally had a great night for Saints. 2 cracking tries. I mean, that one at the end of the first half, Tommy, how on earth? Did you know where you were?
You know, that's my job. Sometimes I can score them, and, you see it in Super League a lot this year. A lot of wingers can do that, and, credit to the boys there. They put that kick on the money and, got there in the end.
Is it just a sixth sense thing, though? You're getting your bearings?
Yeah, something you practice in training all the time, and luckily that time it come off. The other 2 times we had opportunities. In that first half we could have had 2 or 3 more tries, and sadly tonight it didn't go, but it's something we'll work on.
Well, when you scored that, it looked maybe as though that had given you the platform for the second half.
Yeah, definitely. We missed a few ops, and we didn't go in too disappointed because we was quite good, and credit to Wigan in that second half. The Blues away, a few bad decisions by us in defence, and that's what quality sides like Wigan can do. They'll punish you, and then that's exactly what happened.
Do you think you're in a bit of a dip at the moment?
No, obviously we've lost that one, haven't we? And that's 2 points gone. But get back on the horse next week, Catalan away, and just keep taking over, keep getting these 2 points, and get some form going into them big games.
Thanks, Tom.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.
Justin Holbrook's the Saints coach, and thanks for joining us, Justin. I mean,
sweet.
In a game like this, by the standards you've set this season, that must be a disappointment because you weren't at the sort of standards you've been at.
Yeah, no, just pretty poor with the ball, weren't we? Our execution was poor, and late in the first half it was poor, and then it continued in the second half. So we created some opportunities, weren't good enough to take them, and in the end that hurt your defence, and we leaked too many points. But full credit to Wigan, they were outstanding tonight.
Do you think they out-enthused you in some areas?
I think they beat us in every area, whatever area you can think of, they beat us at. I think, as I said, way too good for us. It's funny when you beat a side a couple of times, you've got to realise how much they want to beat you back, especially in the derby. And like you said, they beat us in every area, so that's a disappointing thing for us.
Do you think this is a dip in form? Are you worried about that at all?
Oh, I just think we played poorly. I don't know, forms over a whole year and things like that. So, I don't think you can say it's a dip in form. I think you can say the opposition played way better than us. That's what you can say. And we're no different every other team. Just because we're sitting first, we're no different. And they've lost some games they wouldn't be happy with during the year, and we're no different. If we don't play good, we're not going to win, and that's what happened to us tonight.
Well, you can go to Catalan and wrap it up next week.
Yeah, geez. I hope they're still celebrating. They take it easy on us. So, Anyway, we'll get there when it happens. We'll get there, and we'll have to regroup and play better than what we did tonight.
Justin, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks. Cheers.
Finally, Sean Wayne, the Wigan Warriors coach, who really enjoyed that, as we could see.
Oh, I know, yeah.
Yes, we did.
I did enjoy it. Yeah, it was a good performance. The goal that was thrown down. They weren't. There's comments about they weren't bothered about the league leaders. They wanted 3-0, and they were 2-0 up. So fair bit of pressure from my players, and they accepted it. They had a dig, my players. I was really pleased with them. St Helens will win it. They've been a champion team this year, but the effort and the desire today was fantastic. The disruption, losing Sam and just cracking on. I love my players, they're fantastic.
A Saints fan said to me at half-time, the difference is they've got more dog tonight. And that summed up your side's, well, it was one aspect of your side's performance, the desire maybe.
Yeah, I thought our ball movement build was great. We got the right people we need to get to, but he's bang on. Our D was good, they're aggressive. And you have to be, you have to be 9 out of 10 against them. They've got so many attacking threats. So I'm pleased for all the staff. We've all worked so hard over the last few weeks, and we have this one thing in mind. We didn't want them getting the trophy today in front of us, and we didn't want them with 3-0. It was really important to us, and we come up with a great performance.
Do you think it might be more significant further down the track? Just supposing you were to meet in October somewhere?
Yeah, that'd be great, Bill. If we were at the bottom of the league, and it wouldn't change my attitude to this game. So it doesn't matter. This is St Helens at St Helens. They're flying. They could have got the league leaders, and it just meant so much to us as a group.
Thanks, Sean.
Cheers, Bill.
See ya.
Thanks very much.
Yeah, victory for Sean Wayne and his side, restricting St Helens to just 2 tries in 80 minutes. That itself a remarkable feat. The tail of the tape, 14-4 half-time lead for the visitors was extended 30 points to 10. They win in the end. 2 for Sargentson, Bateman, Davies, Gildart and O'Loughlin with scores. Makinson with a brace for St Helens. Williams with 3 successful conversions. Escray, bad night with the boot early on. Okay, we can go to John Wells at touchscreen, who's going to pick us out a game breaker from that phenomenal Super League match.
And we'll get to him very shortly, Brian. I think first of all it's well worth recapping what were some fantastic tries scored in the second half by the Wigan Warriors, and just that one from St Helens, as you said, 1 in each half scored. 14-4 at half time, and this was the worst possible start for St Helens, the best possible start in resumption of play for the Wigan Warriors. Davies scoring on the 42nd minute. Then Makinson with his second of the evening. There's some good build-up play to this one, some smart stuff, and your makeshift centre Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook gets a beautiful late offload away. Makinson dotting down. That reduced the arrears to just 8 points, and it took until into the last quarter of the game for Joe Greenwood, more on him in a moment, to put Gildart away. He'll be joining me at the touchscreen in the last part of this show, and we'll be asking him about that step in particular on Ben Barber that took it out to 10 points to 24, and then Sean O'Loughlin, Captain Fantastic, sealed the game, and a 20-point winning margin for the Wigan Warriors. A touch over 14,000 people in this stadium this evening, Brian, witnessed, I think, something special and perhaps a glimpse of the standards that we aspire to now at this business end of the season. The game breaker then. The game breaker for me was Joe Greenwood. He was the man of the match. We've already heard from him speaking to Bill. But I think what he did in the build-up to several of these tries scored in the game was pretty special. He's obviously taken a bit of time to bed in to the environment here at the Wigan Warriors, but he's a colossus on that left edge for them. Something that I was talking to Terry O'Connor about before the game, and saying that he was very, very interested in this left edge versus right edge battle. And have a look at Greenwood here in the final clip. This is in the build-up to Gildart's try, just getting on the outside of his man, drawing in the centre and then releasing Gildart, and what a finish that was in the corner for him. So whilst Gildart arguably got the game-breaking try, Joe Greenwood, for me, I think, head and shoulders above, which is saying something, the rest of that Wigan team, who were magnificent in victory and in spoiling that League Leaders' Shield celebration party.
Yeah, thanks very much, John. They will lift the League Leaders' Shield. It just won't be tonight against their rivals, the Wigan Warriors. There was one other game, John Smith Stadium. Huddersfield led 16-6 3 minutes into the second half of that match, but look at the final scoreline. Wakefield Trinity, Chris Chester's side, have roared home with a 42-16 victory, and that brings a halt to Huddersfield's 6-game winning run in the Betfred Super League. Right, what that means for the table is, well, we'll focus on 5th and 4th briefly. Huddersfield Giants, you would now almost rule them out of contention for creeping into the semi-final spots. Castleford with a game tomorrow can close to within 3 points of the Wigan Warriors, who importantly though stretch clear of Warrington. 5 points now between Warrington and Castleford and Wigan in that race for the second home semi-final spot. Well, it was pitched as St Helens night. League Leader Shield would be presented if they won, but Wigan had plenty to play for. Phil Clark here. You tipped them before the game to win this match. They found desire and motivation. They overcame a little bit of adversity with Sam Tompkins dropping out, and fully deserved a really, really good victory for them.
Well, I think I've got a bit of a concern that St Helens seem to have, in their engine, they've lost the horsepower. They've lost that ability that they had in the first